You have to have balance. You have to find something that works for the average Joe. And although all those other grinds do work temporarily, you'll get success.
Breaking down the goals into smaller milestones.
Yes.
At every milestone, we start celebrating, we reward ourselves. That gives us dopamine. That also gives us the motivation to go to the next goal.
They're hiding behind the excuses because they're all or nothing. Get out of the all or nothing. Okay, I want to start doing X, Y, or Z. Guess what? What's the one small thing that I can do today? I'm going to start today. You're not racing towards the finish line. You're looking towards the finish line and you're getting there every single day. My answer to that 3-year goal is to have somebody reach out to me in 3 years and say, you really changed my life. Good Friday morning. It's time for your daily motivational check-in. Moving in the morning. I'll give you today's. Sometimes the thing that's holding you back is one conversation that you've been avoiding. Avoidance doesn't disappear. It makes you grow. I had some health concerns that creeped up on me. And with those health concerns, I found out that on top of being morbidly obese at 311 pounds, I'd put myself into type 2 diabetes. All I want to say to everybody out there is it's not too late. Yesterday is over. Tomorrow is around the corner. It's not too late. You can rewrite your destiny. Whether it's your job and you're burned out, whether it's your health and you need to fix it, whatever it is, it's not too late.
Good Friday morning. Hello, friends. You must have noticed that today I have opened my podcast with much higher energy than usual. The reason for that is that our today's guest himself is full of energy and positivity. He is a wellness educator, a podcaster, an entrepreneur, and a strong believer in a life well lived. Not only rich in money, but also in meaning. Hi, I am Kamal, and welcome to my podcast, Happy, Not Just Rich. Our today's guest is Mr. John H. Adams, who is the host of HTW podcast, which focuses on health, tech, and wellness. He is a live proof of concept that how mental health affects our physical fitness. In addition to that, he also owns an online business called living95.com. So without further delay, let's welcome Mr. John to the show. Hi, John. How are you doing?
Good, Kamal. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be on this side of it where I don't have to worry about the technical stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you are on the receiving side today.
Yes.
Right. As I said, you are also a podcaster,
Yes.
and I would say you are dual podcaster. You are doing a long content where you are doing the health, tech, and wellness. Other than that, you're also doing this morning motivation. I actually listened at least 50 times in last 1 week, and I try to practice a lot. I think it starts something like this. Good Friday morning. It's time for
Yes.
your daily motivational check-in. Moving in the morning.
Yes, you
Right?
have it.
Right.
Yes.
It's not that good as you do it very impressively. So I'm getting there. Welcome to the show, Wala.
Well, thank
Very
you.
good, very good. So actually, I tried to summarize for my audience what you do, who you are, but I would like to hear from you. I think you can explain briefly. You can explain your journey, walk us through what you do, and everything about the journey.
Okay. Well, about 3.5 years ago, I had some health concerns that creeped up on me. And with those health concerns, I found out that on top of being morbidly obese at 311 pounds, I'd put myself into type 2 diabetes.
You are 311 pounds, right?
Yes.
Yes. So how was the journey, and how you connected the mental fitness to the physical fitness? So please explain us a little bit about that.
For anybody listening that doesn't know what A1C is, that is how they measure diabetes over a long period of time. For a healthy adult, you want to be under 5.7. I was over the Richter scale of 13.4. My blood pressure was 200 and something, over 100 and something, and not to mention high cholesterol and all that other good stuff, and hypertension and anything and everything that literally I shouldn't be here today. So when I started working on my health journey, I had a lot of people who came in and out of my life, nobody that I ever made acquaintances with so I could get a hold of, which is unfortunate, but a lot of people who came in and out of my life who pointed me on the direction that I'm on today. And that's where Living 95 and the podcast was born from. I'm just trying to pay forward and pay back what I shouldn't have as another chance at life.
Mhm.
And so I started the podcast in order to start that paying back and help people to understand that to live a healthy and happy life, we don't have to live in burnout. That constant
Mm.
state of burnout that we all live in, whether it comes with our diet, with our job, with our marriage, with just anything in life, we want to give 110%. But what happens when you can't? What happens when life just is lifing, right? And that's what I love to call it.
Yes.
Life be lifing when things are happening. So that's where Living 95 comes in. How do you get into that 5% if you're not prepared for it? So if you don't start with some sort of maintenance during your entire
Mhm.
process, whether it's starting a company or whatever, you're never going to get to that 110% that you want to strive to achieve your goal.
Right. I must say that what you do in the morning, this morning motivational thing, this is very addictive. It's very short, and it's, I would
Yes.
say, it's the best 1 minute spent of my every day. I mean, if I have
Thank you.
24 hours, that 1 minute that I spent on listening to that morning motivational video, it's very good to hear from me. But I know it takes a lot of efforts and it takes a lot of discipline to do
Mhm.
that every day, almost every day. So what is that burning desire? What is that motivation behind it that keeps you going, that you show up every day?
So I'm a firm believer in a morning routine. I've got
Mm,
OCD, very bad, obsessive
okay.
compulsive. If my routine is messed up, it screws up my entire day. And I mean, it just downhill from there. So I'm a firm believer in having a strong morning routine, whatever that looks like for you personally. I
Mm,
believe that, it doesn't have to be, running 200 miles, but you need to have a routine that you're used to every single morning that gets you moving. And then, you know, in my negative health situation and in finding out that I had diabetes and in them wanting to give me insulin and all this other stuff that I did not want to have and I did not end up having, um, you get in a dark headspace, right? So you're thinking to yourself, man, it's so hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's so tough. And the time of the morning that I release it, which is here on the East Coast in the United States, that's about 2:30 in the morning. So you're
wow.
catching the
Mhm,
people getting out of bed and getting ready for work, and you're also catching the people who are sitting at home, probably, and this is sad to say, but probably with a bottle in one hand and maybe something else in the other. And my hope
yeah.
is that one of my motivations, one of my things that I'm throwing out into the ether of the world, um, will be that thing that says, "Oh wow, I needed that. Wow. I I don't know how I tripped over this morning, but I really needed it." And that's why I do it
Yeah.
every morning. Now the weekends, I gave myself 2 days off because I
Good.
don't get up that early to drive on the weekends. That's why I do it 5 days a week, and
Yeah.
I unless there's a family emergency, I don't miss one.
No, I think it's a good thing that you don't do it on the 2 days, because otherwise it will become routine, and the body also needs a break. It needs a break to come back with fresh energy. Really good. And at this moment, I would really recommend everybody to visit your channel. I would put the links in the below, and first watch the short content, and then also go and visit the long content. And congratulations to you. I heard that recently you finished your 30 episodes landmark, and you just launched your 31st episode, which was very, very interesting. I
Thank you.
have one question from the 31st episode of your podcast.
Yeah.
It was about breaking the life goals into smaller chunks. So, if you could summarize that episode for us, for our audience, it would be really great.
So think about it this way. You want to, in my case, you're 311 pounds and you want to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever that goal is. You're starting a brand new business. And everybody says, well, to start that business, you need to, shoot for the stars. You should be a Fortune 500 company by the end of the year. Or if you're going to
Right.
lose that weight, lose 10 pounds in 10 days and then lose another 10 pounds. Those are lofty goals. And if you throw
Mm.
those in front of you, some of us are David Goggins. I understand. Some of us can do that, but I couldn't as an average human being, which I am. I couldn't do that. So when I'm looking at my goals and setting them, yes, I set that goal way out in the ether, and I'm always staring at it. But when you're starting a business, when you're trying to lose weight, when you're courting your sweetheart that you're going to marry, there's little things that you need to accomplish in the meantime to build to that bigger goal. I like to call those process goals. Those process goals are what you need. So I'm going to start a new business. I just started Living 95. So what do I need to grow this, to get it out to the world, to throw the net out there for the 5 people who truly need to hear it, to hear it? So you start small. I need to find a website. Which one is the right one? Small goals that you accomplish one after the other. In anything in life, I call them habit stacking, building goals. All your process goals are just those. You're building those small little habits that you're going to do and accomplish over and over and over. And the best part about that, and I don't want to bore you, but I'll tell you straightforward. Our brain, I've learned so much on this journey of mine over 3.5 years. So we produce a couple chemicals in the brain, right? We produce cortisol when we're afraid and when we're scared and when we're fearful. We produce adrenaline when in that short period of time where, okay, maybe you're not hungry or whatever, but over that long period of time, cortisol builds up and that's going to make you lethargic. It's going to make you go after high fat foods and sugars and things that comfort foods. It's going to make you not chase that goal anymore, right? But you also produce a chemical called dopamine. That dopamine is one of the best things that you'll ever have. Okay. Your brain craves that. And I figured, okay, what gives you that dopamine? Well, it's usually the achievement of what you're trying to get. So whether it's that high junk food, whether it's that addiction, whatever that is, it gives you a sudden jolt of dopamine. Well, let me take this one step forward for you, okay? You're going to hopefully love this. And this is kind of something that I went into a little bit in that episode. If you take that thought process, right? When do you think you're the most excited about something? Before you've ever gotten it, right? So you're buying a car, right? You're thinking about that car, you're dreaming about that car, it's consuming your brain. You're filling with dopamine, you're excited. Now you buy that car, what happens? You own that car. The excitement kind of goes away, right? Is gone. So you got to use those things to work with that dopamine and constantly feed your brain it. So in the case of episode 31, those little process goals, each time you achieve one, you give your brain a little shot of dopamine and it goes, okay, I like this. Let me achieve another one. These are easy, right? And these easy ones add up. And in the case of the long term, what I was talking about with like the car or the purchase, you think about it this way. You're trying to lose weight. Okay. I know this wasn't in episode 31, but it goes a long way with the dopamine. You're trying to lose weight. Well, I love chocolate cake. Well, guess what? I can have chocolate cake, just not today. Well, my niece or nephew has a birthday party coming up in 2 weeks. I know I'm going to have chocolate cake that day. Guess what? It's just like the car. I'm feeding my brain that dopamine, thinking about the chocolate cake then, and I'm not worrying about it today. So when you learn how to kind of use those in your brain, weight loss, building a business, it's all psychological. It all starts right here.
Yes, breaking down the goals into smaller milestones.
Yes.
At every milestone, we start celebrating. We reward ourselves. That gives us dopamine. That also gives us the motivation to go to the next goal. And that way, the journey should be then. Also, you can say, I've heard it many times. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is a journey. So you put it very nicely in this example, that if this is your happiness, why don't we make it like happiness 10%, happiness 20%, 30%? Then this way, the whole journey we are enjoying. And believe me, this is very good. Yes. I hope I will also. I'm also planning to leave a few to shut down a few kilos since a couple of years. So hopefully, I will get some useful tips in this episode, and maybe I'll be able to achieve it.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll talk about your happiness journey, the weight loss journey. You were 311 pounds, right?
Yes.
Yes. So how was the journey, and how you connected the mental fitness to the
Mhm.
physical fitness? So please explain us a little bit about that.
You asked about the how I started the journey. Well, let me take you
Yeah.
back a little bit to connecting the mental and the physical. The
Yeah.
reason why I needed to connect them, this was a necessity. Connecting the mental to the physical. Unless you put a dog behind me, I'm not running. I'll go on the
Mhm.
treadmill and I might do a little bit of a fast paced walk, but I'm not running. I'm not an exercise guy. I do it. I don't like it. I'll never enjoy it. Okay. I'm just going to be honest.
Mhm.
So I had to do the research. So let me take you all the way back to I got my bad news with my health. I'm scared. I left a company that I worked for almost 20 years in order to work on my mental health, physical health, and everything else. I started driving rideshare. When I started driving rideshare, it was supposed to be temporary, but it's kind of given me the opportunity to build these other things that I'm building. So I'm so
Mhm.
thankful for it. But I had a gentleman get in my car the very first week, personal trainer.
Mhm.
And I opened up my heart to him because I didn't have personal trainer money, and I wasn't
Mhm.
happy and I definitely wasn't rich. And I just said, can you give me some advice? And the advice he gave me was not advice I wanted to hear at that time. I wanted him to tell me this workout or this food to
Mhm.
eat or whatever.
Diet or
And he
yeah.
said, John, stop dieting. It's not working for you. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. And okay, whatever. And then he said, go home and Google a box of Cheerios. If you have a box, just flip it over. If you don't, go Google one. And then once you look at the box in the United States, Google that same box of Cheerios in the EU or in Canada. And I said, okay, whatever. And then I come home and I tell my wife about it, and she says, Google it. Well, guess what? Uh, there's a big difference, but that was
Right.
just part of it. What that got me online, that got me looking things up now, right? And then I started tripping over some Harvard studies. And that's when, back in, I think it was February of 21, they had a study on why stress makes us overeat. And it was talking about the cortisol and how all these things that I talk about in a lot of my episodes. And then I started tripping over some more, and I just got into the deep, dark world of Harvard studies. And there was another one, I believe, in September of 22, talking about your brain on food, basically summarizing what whole foods do to your body and what junk food does to your body. And then I
Hmm.
started to think, okay, wait a minute. So your brain and your body are connected that deeply. Well, maybe this is what I need. So I started just digging in. And then I found, with the dopamine, okay, wait a minute. You can manipulate this stuff. It doesn't just come because you ate a piece of cake. Like,
Yeah.
okay. So once I started down that journey and it started to click, and then I'm like, okay, so now let me go and write my list out. And I wrote out everything I needed to take care of in my life, whether it was getting rid of, I drank 6 sugar-filled sodas every single day, right? Okay. I
Wow.
drank, eat junk food every day. Um, so I can't get rid of those because I've tried them before, right? I've tried the all or nothing, get rid of it. And well, how do I replace it to the point where I can get as close to 100% pure whole food every single day of my life and then give myself those little treats? And then I tripped over another study where it talks about in your brain calling cheat days makes it
Hmm.
dirty. So
Yeah.
I don't like to call them cheat days. Those are my life days. Those are your weddings, your funerals, your holidays, your birthday parties for your kids.
Yeah. You
We
need
have
to
a lot
celebrate
of
a little
those.
bit. You
Yeah,
don't need to
anything.
punish yourself. Yes.
Exactly. I was tired of being the overweight gentleman at every
Mhm.
cookout, at every holiday. And I was always the guy on a diet at every one of those and always the overweight guy. Look at that circle. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So how do you put this together? And that's when it all started clicking. And then when I started journaling and writing things down and giving it a goal and a purpose and checking off those little things, the weight started to fall. I'd go to my doctor's appointment and my A1C would be down and my weight would be down and my blood work would be better, my blood pressure. And my doctor's looking at me going, well, what are you doing? And I'd tell him, and I'll keep doing it. And then it just kept working.
Great.
And then I got to the point where all of these people that came into my life, I don't have their contact information. I tried to Google a bunch of them. They don't exist. The gentleman at the very beginning, he's a personal trainer in the state that I live in. I can't
But you
find
don't have
him.
any contact.
It was like whatever spirit you believe in, God or whatever.
Yeah,
It was
God
like
sent you a messenger.
they sent me a messenger. Yeah. And put it in the back of my seat and said, here, start this journey. It was a small seed. And that seed turned into where we are today.
I just wanted to know, when all these good things were happening to your body and the weight scale, the numbers were going down. Were you also doing some physical exercise, or just it was purely mental?
No,
Any?
I was doing the physical exercise. I got a gym membership at first, and my brother-in-law was going with me. And like I said, I don't like to run, but I was on. This is a nice one. So I used to be a smoker. On top of eating the junk food and everything, I was a heavy smoker, cigars, cigarettes, and we're at the gym. And we are on the treadmill. And again, I'm just fast paced walking and I'm breathing heavy.
Yes.
And then we walk outside of the gym after we're done and I lit a cigarette. It didn't make any sense.
This is not very unusual scene, by the way.
No,
This is not very
exactly.
unusual. Yes.
So then
This is
I
a very
go
popular
home.
scene.
100%. And people do this all the time and we don't think about that. So then I go home and I didn't stop at the gas station to buy a pack of cigarettes. And I think it was another thing where this was my path on this journey where I get home and I had one cigarette left. And I was like, I didn't stop at the gas station to get a cigarette or to get a pack of cigarettes. So I looked at it. I lit that last cigarette. I said, this will be my last one. I smoked it to the end. I put it out and I was done. Now, to answer your question, I continued the gym for a while and then I got home gym equipment. I have a treadmill. I have weights and stuff at home. I do not have a regimen. I do easy cardio in the mornings. 15 minutes, get your heart rate up, keep it that way for another 15 minutes. And then I do lightweight resistance training. I do till failure. I don't count reps. I do till failure. And it's lightweight. I'm not going heavyweight, but by the time you get to failure, it feels like you're pushing 1,000 pounds. But these is just small workouts. I do yoga and stretch and with the meditation. But not on top of that, I hate to talk about what I do for workout because it really doesn't feel like a workout to me. It just feels like movement. And that's one of the things I talk about. You have to move.
But all of this that you're telling, and we know each other now almost like 1 month.
Yeah.
Ever since we started talking, and by the way, we met in just for the audience, we want to know, we met in Facebook like 1 month back in one of the common groups, and we somehow there was some connection, so we started talking to each other, and maybe third or fourth time now we are talking officially now on the podcast. I would say that I am proud of you.
Thank you.
Because of your achievements, I am feeling proud that you are my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate
so imagine
that.
how your family members will be thinking.
Yes.
And really great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we'll move to another topic, entrepreneurship and some more things. So let's say you are working like most of the world. You must be working in one normal job, 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job. What was the trigger which asked you that now I cannot take it anymore? I want some time for myself to follow my passion and build my own empire.
My health. Number one was my health, and number two was the support of my wife. She is my backbone, the rock that I stand on.
Excellent.
Her support, saying yes, go ahead, because your health is more important to me than money. That was the biggest pushing point to going where I'm at. And that's what's creating this. At the end of the day, without her, I'd probably be dead anyway, because I wouldn't have went to the doctor to begin with. So
no, I know that feeling. Without the support of the ladies, we cannot achieve everything. Like now, I'm having a job, corporate job, I normally work till 7 p.m., 6:30, 7 p.m. I'm working. And after 7 p.m., I start with this podcasting. Either I'm recording or I'm editing or I'm uploading to YouTube or I'm talking to the new guests or I'm researching about the guests. So this a lot of time, which was actually family time, I'm stealing from them. I'm investing into my passion and to make myself happy, I would
Mhm.
say. So this is me being selfish, stealing a
Not at
lot
all.
of time from family and using on myself. So if they did not support me, I would not be doing it what I'm doing right now. So I
Yes.
really understand that feeling, and you're lucky to have a.
So are you.
Okay, yes, me too. Okay, let's talk now about living 95. Already you told in the beginning. So mission statement.
Mm.
What is living 95? Mission statement, and where you want to see this living 95 after, let's say, 3 or 5 years.
So, without trying to remember my entire mission statement, basically, in short, it's to help real people create real change without all the extremes by focusing on consistency, compassion,
Right.
and building habits. Basically, all the things that fit real people in their real lives. Um,
Mm.
I got to the point where I got so tired of everywhere I turned, everything was push, 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 grind, grind, grind. Yes, that is good. It is great. It is nice to have that lofty out there. And for some people, you can do that and you can thrive. But for a lot of us in the world, myself included, you have to have balance. You have to find something that works for the
Mm.
average Joe. And although all those other grinds do work temporarily, you'll get success. You'll feel good. They'll say, "Come on, man, it looks like you've lost some weight. How, oh man, you look so good. That your clothes look good on you." And then you're going to plateau. And then
Yes.
you're not going to see the scale move anymore. And then people are not
Mm.
going to say, "Hey, you look like you lost weight anymore." And then all that dopamine that you were getting
Will
from all those
disappear.
compliments and it's gone. So where do you
Yes.
go for that next dopamine hit? The habit that you
Mm.
were doing before. And the same thing
Right.
in business. You're striving, everything feels good. You've built the website, you've got the company name, you've got your LLC, and then you hit a plateau because, oh, I didn't do my research and I need to do this. And now you're at this halt. Well, if you didn't
Right.
build those little process goals and those little things along the way to keep you in maintenance and keep you balanced, you hit that point. You got two choices at that point because you don't have maintenance and you don't have balance. You either got to fight through it, and a lot of people can, or you're going to give up. And
Yes.
that's where I was
Second
my
option is
entire
more
life.
popular. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Great. 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 Okay. I wish you success, and I want to see it grow, grow, grow every year.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
I- okay.
Oh, to answer your
Okay.
3-year goal, my 3-year goal is for somebody to contact. And this is going to sound terrible because it's not business oriented, but I believe it. This is why we've kind of gravitated toward each other because happy, not just rich, is literally could be my living 95 in a nutshell because it's all about happiness and balance. And you can't be happy if you're not healthy, and you can't be healthy if you're
Right.
not happy. But at the end of the day, my answer to that 3-year goal is to have somebody reach out to me in 3 years and say, "You really changed my life." And I
Great.
am now down X amount of pounds, or I started my business and I'm feeling really good and I'm loving life. Whatever that is, that's my goal. If money comes along with it, great, but that's not the goal. The goal is
Right.
somebody to reach out and go, "You know what? That one episode that you got made me follow you, and let me tell you what you did for me."
This is a very good feeling. I,
Thank you.
I have not touched many lives in the past in my entire life, but at least three or four I remember. I have touched them, and no matter how old that story might be, it still gives me happiness little bit, makes me feel good about myself. So I hope you meet more and more and more people who
Thank you.
come and show appreciation towards your all this hard work. Okay, now we'll shift our focus towards the toys with which you play, the tech
Yes.
tools, because your podcast name is Health, Wellness, and
Health, tech, and
uh,
wellness.
Health, Tech, and Wellness. So let's
Yes.
talk about tech.
Okay.
Uh, are you like basically? doing it to satisfy your grown-up child? Because I see you like to play with tools.
So long story short, my previous career, my 9 to 6, as you like to call it, I was in analytics for Enterprise Holdings, which is a worldwide company. I started with rental and I worked my way up. And I sat and I looked at Excel spreadsheets all day long and numbers and analyzed what we were spending and if we do this, well, how does it affect this and so forth and so on. And when I started this process, I love tech. I don't have the money to buy a lot of tech, but I love tech. So I said, well, how do I throw that net out even larger? Because the people who are going to trip over Living 95 that need it are already in a really bad spot, right? They're searching. They're not tripping over me because they're not searching. But if I throw out the tech stuff that I enjoy talking about, okay, I like to gush over Riverside because it made my life so easy. So if I can talk about that and do those videos, and somebody's going, they're trying to start a podcast and they see that, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I throw in a little bit of my balance piece into that. Here's why I love Riverside, because it's so simple. And by the way, it's perfectly balanced. It's super easy. And I can turn around and do the heavy lifting and push to 110% and make it even better if I want to. So that larger net, okay, it's like if you're fishing, okay, if you're going out to catch fish and you're in the ocean, if you're a single fisherman, you're just looking for one fish, you're going to throw a pole in, right? But if you're a big company and you're going out to get fish for your corporation, guess what? You're going to throw a net in. Now that net might drag in some things that don't belong, but at the end of the day, a lot of the I hate to say YouTube because I'm a podcast, but a lot of the YouTube gurus say, oh, you got to have a split niche and you got to stay with the single niche or nobody's going to watch. I'm trying a different experiment. My experiment is throw that net out there, and one of these tech guys are going to go, man, I'm burned out, and this guy knows what he's talking about. Wow, I didn't expect that. So the tech, yes, I love. I enjoy it. If I had the money, I'd have it all. I don't think I found a piece of tech that I wouldn't like to own. But it's more of throwing out that broad net so people will find me.
I have a confession here. When I want to buy something like a mic or light or camera or something, I try to put the gun on my son's shoulder. So I'm basically telling myself and my wife that I am buying this so that I can give this little boy some exposure, which will help him. So that justifies why I'm wasting this $300 or $250 in something which is actually not needed.
Yes, I like that.
I don't spend on clothes. I don't spend really. I don't have big needs, but on certain things which I really like, I like to spend more than what I actually should do. But then I say it's okay. I'm doing it for my son to make myself satisfied.
I love it.
Okay. Now, because people have been listening to us, let us give them some takeaway. Let us give them some juice so they can take some message from it. One piece of actionable advice, easy to follow, that people can start following from tomorrow onwards.
Journal. Get up in the morning. It's been a good night, a bad day, whatever, write it down. Get your pen, write it down. You've had a great experience yesterday. You and your wife, you had a day that you haven't had in a long time. Write it down. Right. The grandkids were over and it was a great day. Write it down. These small things, you can go back and you can look and go, wow, you know what? I thought this week was pretty bad, but man, it was actually pretty good. It helps you open up. So, yeah.
Yeah, very good. At this point, I would say I recently invested in another tool called Scrivener. Now, this Scrivener is a software which is actually used by novelists. And I purchased it because one of the YouTubers I follow, Brenda Turner, she recommended it. And I started using it. It has a learning curve, but I think for journaling, that could also be a nice tool. Scrivener. It costs around $50, one-time payment for the whole lifetime. Perfect. Now, the
Thank you.
message for those people who say that I will start XYZ on Monday, or I will do it on 1st of January. I will start doing it from the 1st of the next month. Let us give some tough words to these people who are hiding behind these excuses, please.
They're hiding behind the excuses because they're all or nothing. Get out of the all or nothing. Okay, I want to start doing X, Y, or Z. Guess what? What's the one small thing that I can do today? I'm going to start today. I might not be 100% until next week, next month, or next year. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. This is a journey. You're not racing towards the finish line. You're looking towards the finish line and you're getting there every single day. So, if there's something you want to do, whether it's fix your health, whether it's change a bad habit, whether it's start a business, whether it's talk to that sweetheart that you're thinking about talking to and you can't get up the nerve, whatever it is, what's the one thing you can do today, right now, that will get you towards that? If you can't do that, then that's not your goal. At the end of the day, if the goal is that important to you, if that is your why, and that is one thing that we haven't talked about, but I talk about a lot on my podcast, and it's a big thing for me. Whenever I'm having that rough moment, whether it's starting this or continuing this, there's times where I get comments. I don't know how your comment section is at all yet, but there's times when I get comments that I just don't. Sometimes I'll answer them and try to be kind, and sometimes I just delete them because I don't want it to affect my listeners. But sometimes you get in that dark spot and you're like, oh, is this really worth it? And then you got to go back to your why. So use your why to get you started. Use your why to keep you going. But at the end of the day, don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until the first of the year. Don't wait until next month. You can start right now. The money might not be there yet, but you can do one thing. Maybe that one thing is put a couple bucks aside instead of going for fast food or going out to dinner tonight. Take that money and put it aside to start your venture, whatever that is. So just sit down, write it out. Here's where I want to be. And then just start making small process goals, small actionable goals that can add up and start today.
Great. I will really rephrase what you said for my audience.
Yes.
Please start journaling. I would start also doing from tomorrow onwards. So far, whenever I used about the word journaling, it was all about gratitude. But your message is slightly different. Whether it is good or bad, it could be the experience of the previous day, but gratitude could also be a big part of it. So every day
Yes.
morning, at least we have to be grateful. That is, in my opinion, the best way to stay happy.
Yes.
Always. Because if you're driving a car worth X, there will always a person driving X plus 1. The moment you get X plus 1, there is always a person who's driving X plus 2.
Yes.
So if you always keep on looking at something X plus 2, X plus 3 towards that person, you will never be happy.
Yes.
So at that moment where you are at X, just say thank you to the God that you have this car at least, right? So that gratitude plus the experience of the previous day. So I will start doing it. It's my promise to you.
Thank you. And the reason why I say the good and the bad is because a lot of times when you get it out of here and you get it to where you can see it, sometimes you realize, what was I all upset about that for? And it brings the gratitude a little easier. Because in our heads, things build up a lot bigger. And then if you get it out of your head, you're not spending the rest of the day dwelling on it, which gets you closer to your goals faster.
Great. Now we have been asking some tough questions and you have been performing very well under the pressure. Interrogation is going good.
Thank you.
Now let me give you some relaxation and ask some fun, simple one-liner questions. I'll ask 4 or 5 questions. Let's call it rapid fire round. Whatever comes to your mind, just shoot it.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. One morning habit that can change our life.
Journaling.
Most common mistake people do while chasing the fitness goals.
All or nothing. Not realizing that you can mess up, you can have a day that you're just not 100%, as long as you're doing something to get closer to your goal. So get out of all or nothing.
So something is better than nothing.
Something is always better than nothing.
Great. From all the tech tools that you have reviewed on your podcast, which one is your favorite?
So I haven't done a lot of like actual physical tech. I've done a lot of software tech, and Riverside, I can't say enough about them. I use them, you use them, and I recommend anybody out there that's looking to get into this realm, check them out. If
It
you're
is really good.
overwhelmed by all the other products that are out there, this is the easiest
Right.
one, and it's super high quality.
How do you keep on moving on the days when the energy is low?
Your why, my why. I always go back to my why. Sometimes the why will change, but you always have a why. If you can't imagine that why, that is your driving force. Why am I still here? Why do I want to get to where I want to get to? Why do I want to start this? Why do I want to lose weight? Go back to your why. Whenever you're struggling, go back to your why. And again, that why might change. It might change over time. Maybe you start off and this is the why, and then you have grandchildren or children and this is the why, but always go back to your why.
Great piece of advice. And how do you charge up after you have, let's say, been burned out? After that, again, how do you charge up again?
Those
Go to
morning
your plan.
motivations that you were talking about, they help me just as much as they help you. That's why I start them every morning with "Good Monday morning. It's time for your
I
daily
have a
motivational
request. Please,
check-in."
can you please do one of those if you can do it? I don't know if you can do it right now. Can you do one of them for us? It will be really great because I am
Okay,
really
hold on,
addicted
hold
to
on,
it.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay, take your time.
You got me on the spot here. Okay. Today's Friday. Good Friday morning. It's time for your daily motivational check in. Moving in the morning. I'll give you today's. Sometimes the thing that's holding you back is one conversation that you've been avoiding. Avoidance doesn't disappear, it makes you grow. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the action in spite of it. Make that call, send that text message, open the door. The weight that you've been holding on to is the movement that you need to start. And as always, stay healthy, stay
Stay
balanced, and
balanced.
keep driving
Keep
forward.
driving
I'll see you
forward.
next time. That is my closer for everything I do.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And I have been practicing. I must say, I've been practicing. I've been trying to imitate you. I'm hard, maybe 10% like you, but soon I will be getting better. Yeah. It was really, I mean, it is not only enjoyable,
Yes.
it's infotainment, it's information, and also it's entertainment. And it just takes 1 minute. So I would really
Yes.
ask all my subscribers to please go and subscribe to this channel. It will just cost you 1 minute in the whole 24 times 60
Yes.
minutes that you have in one day, and you will not regret it. And if
Thank you.
you find it useful, please share in the comments so that I know that our podcast is giving some positive direction to some people.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you have any important message that you wanted to give that I did not cover in my question. So now I give you open mic, open platform. If, otherwise, I am done with what I wanted to basically learn from you.
All I want to say to everybody out there is it's not too late. Yesterday
Mhm.
is over. Tomorrow is around the corner. It's not too late. You can rewrite your destiny. Whether
Mhm.
it's your job and you're burned out, whether it's your health and you need to fix it, whatever it is, it's not too late. Your darkest moment isn't always your darkest moment. If you go onto my onto my website living95.com, or you go to any of my socials, you'll find my podcast. I did an episode with a couple different men where we talked about men's mental health, and every one of them have been through it. Whether it comes to disease, mental health, homelessness, and they've all come out of it on the other side. And at the end of the day, to, all I can say is it's not too late. You can always start, and start now. One small thing, one small step, build those habits that will grow into big success.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank you.
you that you have highlighted that the true happiness doesn't come from wealth. It comes from longevity, it comes
Yes.
from liveliness, it comes from inspiring others. And may God give you more energy, more
Thank you.
strength, and more motivation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks for spending time with us. To
Yes.
all the viewers, I would say please go and check out the channel of John. And also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel and his channel also.
Yes.
And stay in touch. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon for you, and it's evening for me.